Let's begin looking at the animation tools to create an exploded view. For the upcoming exercises, we'll create a new design file from the FSAE steering wheel animation file. With the file open, we'll switch to the animation workspace. Let's take a look at some of the unique features of the animation workspace. At the bottom of the interface is the most notable new addition, the animation timeline. The animation timeline will contain visual representations of all of the movement, changes in visibility, or changes of the camera position for our animation. The playhead will allow us to control at what time actions take place. Below the animation timeline to the left is a tab called Storyboard 1. Additional storyboards can be added to the animation. In the middle of the screen at the bottom are the controls for playing the animation and changing the general settings. We will focus on using Storyboard 1 to create our exploded animation. The Tools in the Transform dropdown offer options for changing the position of the components. The tools include Transform, Auto Explode one level and all levels, Manual Explode, and Appearance options. We will begin with selecting the Manual Explode option. As soon as we do, the property bar appears. On the left-hand side are controls for if the action happens simultaneously or sequentially. To use a transform action, we need to select the components that we want to move. We'll select the two upper grips and see that the grips appear with one highlighted for the anticipated motion. We can change the direction by selecting the existing direction and choosing a new one. With the correct direction selected, I can drag one of the arrows or use the slide bar to change the distance. In the timeline, the playhead is at the 1 second mark, so this motion would take place over the course of that second. The timeline also shows the operation on the two components. Another option in the Properties bar is Trail Visibility. This will turn on the center line showing the motion of the component. This trail can help people understand the movement even without the animation, and it can be recalled for the drawing. It's very common to use trails to show how fasteners or how stacked components will be grouped together in the assembly. For now, we'll leave the trail off, and with the basic understanding of the process, we can cancel the operation for now. Like the model workspace, a click in a blank part of the canvas will clear all selections. Now, let's start the Transform Component tool and select the tachometer. Once the tachometer is selected, you can move it along an axis, move it along a plane, or rotate it. We will move it up by clicking and dragging the top arrow. A dialog displays the difference that it's been moved, and we can enter a value for that if we prefer. This might have advantages over using the manual explode. Along with the distance in the y-axis we've applied, we also have the option of using the dialog to enter values for x and z, and I can also use the dialog to turn trail visibility on. Instead of saying OK and closing the command, I'll click in an open space on the canvas and reset the selection. Before I select the next component, I'll move the playhead and the timeline forward to 3 seconds. This will set the next actions to appear running up to the 3-second mark while overlapping the previous operation slightly. First, I'll grab the upper left grip top and move it up 3 inches. Once it's moved out, clicking the canvas again to clear the selection, I'll select the left grip bottom and move it down 6 inches. You'll see in the timeline that both operations on the grip pieces will happen at the same time with the same duration. I'll select the play icon below the timeline and we can see the animation. In the animation, the grips begin to move about a half second before the tachometer is done moving. To have the grips not move until the tachometer is finished, we will click the front edge of the action and slide it to the right to align with the end of the tachometer movement. We can also stagger the moving of the grips by simply sliding the movement of the lower grip to after the movement of the top grip. Editing is easy and things will snap to align to one another. Let's save the file and be ready for the next lesson.